Hello, everyone. It's Papa Traffy. You know who I am. I got Yato and a call with me.
You're
Yeah. You got your two resident Ranger reject fanboys here, I guess.
Ranger
But
Tubers,
oh man,
the two and
oh
the only.
chapter 198. Like, don't get me wrong. I am not trying to downplay 196 or 197 because they were both great as well. Like each
Yeah,
one was just 196. You read it and you're like, oh, okay, things are starting to heat up, and then
getting hot.
197 happens and you're like, no, last chapter was pretty cold. Now it's starting to heat up, and then 198 hits and it's over.
Yeah,
It's
one and
just
the eight. I'm like, it's a mess all over my pants, man.
oh man, I don't even know like
Bruh. Sintuine D.
oh
Win D. Bruh. Please. Negi.
like just
Bruh.
getting to that last page.
Bruh.
I'm Wendy Sento, and you
Bruh.
read that and you're like, okay, we knew your first name was Wendy, and you see the Sento, and then you're like,
Bruh.
wait. And you take the Sento and you put it in the front and you got
Bruh.
Sentoween D.
Sintuine D, bro. Come on, man.
I man, and then like the reread is just gonna be something
Reread is nut.
crazy.
Yeah.
And like I've seen a lot of Ranger fans, they're already going back to parts where Wendy was like,
Yeah.
you've seen Wendy, and you're like, it's like the Batman syndrome.
Bruh.
Like,
Yeah.
you
You
haven't
never
seen
see them
Batman
both. Bruh.
yet. And then you have there's one that I pulled up because, like, when I read this chapter, the first thing that I thought about was when right after the time skip when D went to go pick up his uh, divine gadget thing, dragon gadget, um, and so I was like, I feel like they met or they were at least somewhat close together
Yeah.
in that scene.
Exactly
Um,
what I said.
Hold on, Party Jams. It's this late and we talking Ranger Reject.
What up,
Look,
Party
look.
James?
I'm not.
Man.
I'm an old ass man. I take my ass to bed early, but you know we've been getting these incremental chapter releases throughout the day, and I
Yeah.
I read 198 and I was like, okay, hold on,
Yeah.
we
I read
gotta
that and
talk.
I was like, yeah, I was about to start working on the video, but like I'm like, nah, the fucking windy video is coming instead of whatever else I was gonna do. Shit, everything is taking a back seat.
Oh my god. So speaking on that, before I finish up with my previous thought, yeah, is first off, 196, I believe, was like, I feel like it was a perfect bow on top of Sosei's character,
Yeah.
to really flush him out. And then 197 was like this philosophical conversation to be held around Shinya's character, and you know what it means to be only the negatives without uh, the empathy and the positive side, and just how that influences every decision that Shinya made as a character. And then you get 198 and it's like I this is D. This is just D. This is who
Yeah.
he is. Um,
It's crazy.
and more than that, this is just Negi. Like, I feel like Negi always ups the ante and hits you with a twist when you least expect it. Because I remember when I first started reading Ranger, like, I was going through it and uh, I don't even remember what
You're like,
chapter it was
no,
on.
you know.
But basically, Like it's just twist after twist after twist, and each one is a better twist than the. I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
know.
I remember people were talking about like they were posting, like on Twitter, they were like they were posting like the Lucius twist for Black Clover is like best new gen fucking plot twist, and I'm like, it's so hard to like see that because it's like I want to say like no, this plot twist is better, but like by telling you plot twists that I think are better, I would be spoiling it and thus removing the whole point of the plot twist. So it's like it just annoyed me that people go like, I read a thing, it has a plot twist, therefore it is the best plot twist. I'm like, bro, there's so much like good shit happening and other things. It's like Ranger is full of plot twists and just moments that happen where it's like shit happens and you go and read like it just forces you to go and look back like 30 chapters or whatever. It's like, bro, what the
Yeah.
fuck? Negi's just
I
doing crazy shit.
yeah. It's to go back though. Before I lose my train of thought here.
Oops.
So the when D went to go pick up his gadget, uh, I thought they were like there together, so that's the reason that my mind went there first. But I went back and looked, and to me at least, it feels like D pulled like a Superman because they leave and then it shows Wendy pop up with Shinya and the other dude still on the bridge, and it's like
So
he just whoop.
So in that one, you can see that there's a little bit of time passing. Like when they leave, there's like a panel. I don't remember what chapter it's in now. Let me see if I can find it. There's a panel there where it shows that like there's been a passage of time. I think you just see like the city or the like scenery like outside of the Yellow Battalion, and then the next page has as Wendy popping up, going like, "Oh shit, they're gone." So it's like it shows that like some time has passed,
I don't.
but we don't know how much. Let me see if I can find it. I might be tripping.
I got it open. It was like the last thing I was looking at. But Party Jams or Rick said said to quote V, "We got Clark Kented." Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much. Um,
Yeah. It's 135. So yeah, he goes like, "I'll show you determination, security, blah blah blah. We the invaders that had a last laugh," and then
yeah,
like it shows like I think that bottom panel, which is showing like the outside of the building, is supposed to symbolize or whatever that like some time has passed, and
I don't.
then
I don't know. I don't. I guess so, but I don't really see it that way.
who is
I don't
maybe
know.
not much time, but I don't know. Either way, like when I first saw this, the first thing I thought of was when D was trying to kill Chidori, and he was like thinking of ways to do it. And there was that one scene, it's like chapter 82 or something. There's that one scene where D like he shrinks his body and like extends his arm and curves it around like a corner. I thought D was doing that with like Wendy, and he was basically like doing ventriloquism. But then I was talking to V, and he was like, "Nah, I think he's just like straight up leaving it, coming back, like on some Clark Kent Batman shit." I was like, "Yeah, I think that makes more sense." It's like every other scene you see, like it feels like time. I feel like it's not maybe not much time. I ain't saying 5 minutes, but like maybe a minute or something. And it's like D comes back, and everyone in the story is like, "Huh, this guy looks kind of familiar." And even like with the last page here, like if you look at 198, that final page when he goes like Wendy Sento, he looks just like Hibiki with a fucking wig on. Like
Yeah.
literally fucking Hibiki with fucking makeup and a fucking headband. I was like, bro, why did I not see it? Yeah, and everyone has been like, I've seen this guy before. Where do I know you? Like, why am I getting the creeps? It's like,
And he was just cosplaying as Hibiki's unknown brother, I guess.
yeah, he literally just slapped the wig on, and like, I'm pretty sure. I gotta go back to like, I want to go back, but I think when Angel saw him or Angelica, she was like saying she was like getting the creeps or something. But I'm pretty sure she also had that same reaction to D when he was posing as Hibiki in the exam. Like she was like, "Ugh, this guy's kind of icky or whatever. Like I don't like his personality or something." I feel like she had like an inner like thought like that about him, and then she had a similar one when he showed up as Wendy. Because like a couple people was like, I feel like I seen this guy. Like I think Hisui said she's like in her head, she's like, where have I seen this dude? And then I'm pretty sure Shinya said the same thing. But like Angelica had like a disgusted kind of like vibe to her when she first met him. When she
Yeah,
first met him as Wendy. See if I can find it.
yeah.
Should have
But
been it's about 143.
I don't know, cause like the one thing that sticks with me with that is the fact that Shinya is still on the bridge with the other dude. So it's like, why would they still be standing there for if a considerable amount of time had passed? Because it looks like it's just a bridge.
Yeah, maybe not much of time has passed. It was just like 30 seconds or something. But D probably like he probably off screen was like, "Yo, I gotta use the bathroom," and then like actually did that.
Yeah, yeah. It was just it's funny, like just how fast it feels like it happened. It's like he walked out the door, transformed, and then walked back in.
Yeah.
But
Let's see.
yeah, man, it's just
84. All right, so he's in 84 as Wendy. I think that's when he talks to yeah. She's talking. He's talking to Angelica. She goes, "Ugh," when he's like all up in her grill, and she's just like not happy to be talking to him.
yeah.
Yeah,
But
hello, I'm Wendy. I'm a new member, so let's get along, okay? And then he's like all up in her shit. She's like charmed with like dots and shit. So your name Ange
the
Chan?
the funny thing is, uh, going back to like, so I was rereading the first arc of Ranger, and one of the things that kind of appeared as pretty clear was a lot of the time that D spent as Sakurama, he did not have Sakurama's eyes because
Yeah.
I guess he just didn't look at it or didn't replicate it or whatever. And so a lot of the times when he's getting caught, it makes sense when you look back at that. But then, of course, he got the eyes right. And then now he's taking on a different type of stars that are similar to Sakurama's or Hibiki's because Hibiki's eyes kind of look like a galaxy, I would think. So just the one single star, I don't know. It just feels like it ties back into Sakurama.
Yeah, I mean, and he like it was. He made a point to like he even said like like he was talking to Sakurama or whatever and was like I could never get the eyes right, or maybe he was talking to himself. I can't remember, but like it was a thing, like an inner monologue or something where he was like I finally figured it out, like how to get the eyes straight. So he was like
Yeah.
happy about that.
So it's interesting how it kind of ties into that and just the growth of it. But man, so like first off, what did he do to Sakurama?
I'm guessing he just kind of like
Like,
tickled him to death. He probably told him like, "Yo, I'm actually But like, because at first I was like, "Damn, Sakuraba really got off screen by Wendy, like of all people." And
right?
now that we know it's D, it's like he probably was like, "Yo, I got this. Like, you can lay back, chill out for a second. Like, I'm gonna go handle this."
Yeah, and it's I don't know because like it feels like Hibiki spends so much time in the dark on literally everything, and I do feel like that plays into his character because he's the one that sees the positive in everything. So him being left out of like all of what these plans actually mean, it parallels with his character, but. Uh, I don't know. I just feel like he needs a bigger role to play, and I don't know, like what's gonna happen.
Yeah, yeah, I don't know. Like, especially considering it like seems to be the end of the story. Like, I feel like we can still get some extra stuff after this. I don't know how much. Plus, like, with how much is being covered in this arc, we got like the Guji reveal for Ryujin,
Yeah.
which another like I guess play on names with Ryujin and then Guji or whatever Productions dude or whatever. But I still feel like he is the Dragon executive. He just like probably got turned into the Dragon exec, and then he kind of got his memories back like Emma did, and started just going by his normal name again.
Yeah.
Um, but like there's so much that's kind of like happening in this arc that it could be the end. Like I don't know if you see my tweet like 2 days ago where I was like, I hate when manga could do this, or authors when they do this thing where they introduce like a bunch of concepts or characters. Like they'll introduce like 8 characters, and then we'll get like a story arc for 1 or 2, and then the final arc will like wrap up all the other like 5 in one
Yeah.
arc and doesn't really like flesh them out like in a way that feels satisfying. And like I wasn't thinking of Ranger, but somebody was like, hopefully Ranger doesn't do that. I was like, yeah, actually, like that could very well happen. But like it can still be satisfying. I was mostly thinking of like Demon Slayer with the Hashira or whatever, and another book
Yeah.
I was reading. But I don't want that to happen here. I want like there to be more. Like there's still, I think Peltrola is still out there, and then Shion's there's still Shion, and then there's some other like characters that want to do stuff. Like I feel like Azome probably has to have another, do something. Maybe not much, nothing major, but like I don't see Hibiki's story ending as him just being like the guy who like D came over and told him like I'll handle it from here. Like there's
Yeah.
maybe Shinya will pull something here. Like once he finds out that once he realizes it's D, like Shinya will try something and then like Hibiki will like backstab him. Like he'll pull up and do what Wendy just did. Also, D just stabbed Suzukiri. So like
Well, I feel like there's like a trick to that. I don't think he
yeah.
actually stabbed her.
Yeah, there's got to be something there because I mean, those two did like play. They came together or whatever. So like, she's probably in on the fucking scheme. Like he probably is like, I'm gonna fake stab you, but like just pretend to be murdered, and I'm just gonna like go up to him and be like, hey boss, I'm here. Save the day, and so they probably she's in on it, and yeah, I don't know. It's funny because D is ruining his story, and that's what he wanted to do. Like D has always said he doesn't want to like play to anyone else's tune. He wants to do his own thing. He's not gonna just be a character in someone else's story and let them like tell him what to do. So shitting on Shinya and like his whole need to have this perfect story is just fucking perfect.
Yeah. Rick said Sakurama might still be in play now that we know who Wendy is. Yeah. And then there was no stab wound, which makes sense. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
The little bit we do see, no clear stab wound, anyways. But I am curious. I don't know which page it's on, but it's right after Suzukiri gets stabbed by Wendy. You have like this dark figure, and I guess that's Wendy standing over Suzukiri,
Hold on, let me go to it.
I think.
Uh, After she gets stabbed.
Yeah, the page after. There's like a dark figure, but
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be like him stabbing her.
so then what are these like kanji symbols? I'm not sure. Like above it, like is something being
Um,
said there?
I think no, it's similar to the ones on the previous page from when she gets stabbed. So it's either the sound of like a stab or like this glass like breaking.
Oh, okay. Okay. I'm just
Yeah,
being dumb then. Um, but
yeah. I think it's
yeah.
just like her barrier breaking.
Let's see. I don't know. It's so creative the way that, it leads into this reveal because Shinya's having like this elated moment where he's like, I won, I did it. My story is complete, I fixed it. And then literally starts rolling credits. And, and then it's like, wait, no, hold on. What's your name?
Yeah, because he
And
wants to like in his mind, he wants to like perfectly, like fucking assign him his like fucking side role or whatever. Like Wendy XYZ did a fucking character B or whatever. It is like, yeah, let me get your name so I know how to, sign you up or whatever. He's like, nope, gotcha, bitch. I'm the guy.
I'm just, man. Like, what do you say? Like, I can't just off the dome this. I am blown away. Like, if you that obviously, if you're here, you like Ranger Reject, and if you are on Twitter and you're seeing or you're part of the Ranger Reject community on there, you're of course going to see just everyone's going crazy. All 15 of us, we're going
Yeah,
crazy, and
all 20 of us in that fortress. Yeah,
oh man, Negi just every time. And I'm still waiting for my chapter 200 full spread
yeah,
chapter.
yeah. I'm expecting every page like a 20 double page spread chapter, like every single page plus a color page. Like we're gonna get fucking 20 colored pages in chapter 200.
Like I don't even where do we go from here? So this arc has been so weird because every step of the way it's the question of where do we go from here, and then at the same time it feels like it's coming to an end, and
Yeah,
so it they don't mix. You can't ask where we're going, and then also are is this coming to an end because D just showed up. And there is so much more that could happen between D and Shinya, and then you have any kind of conflict that may come between D and Hisui, D and Hibiki. It's just I don't know.
I think it wraps up. Like this could be the final arc, and we just get like a kind of long epilogue. Because what I really need is for them to show the world, like what the world is without the Rangers. Like, let's look at what the world is like after the Dragon Keepers have been exposed, and like the need for them has gone away, and like humanity has like come to realize that not all invaders are bad guys, and not all Dragon Keepers are good guys. So I need that, but like I feel like there's still some time. Like even before we get to like a long kind of epilogue like that, I still feel like there's a couple executives I think that are left. We still have to figure out what's up with the dragon if Johagane is not Guji, and we still got Peltrola because like he was in that space unless like they just playing on off screening him and having him like stay in there forever. But like the fact that Shion wanted to like go back in there to like fight him tells me that like we'll see him again. I could be wrong. It could be Cope, and I could because I was wrong about like Demon Slayer and I was wrong about a bunch of other stories. I was like, nah, man, it's still gonna go on for a long time. Um, but like I feel like there's still because it would feel crazy to have this arc end in the next like 5 chapters. Like D showed up, for the last 5 chapters of a 30 chapter arc, and then that's the end of the story.
Yeah.
But like there needs to be something more for D to do besides
It,
like beat Shinya.
more than just D, it's
Yeah,
I feel like it's D and Sakurama.
yeah,
Just
for sure.
those two I think need a little bit more of a spotlight, and it's not necessarily a critique because it hasn't happened yet. And it's more of a like, hey, I would love to see, our main character and Sakurama get some more screen time, but I'm sure it will happen. I'm sure we
Yeah,
won't be let down on that.
because it started with them. Like it's got to
Yeah.
end with them, and we just need more. We'll probably get like I guess this is also kind of spoilers because we're gonna end up talking about it like tomorrow on our podcast if everything goes well. But people just getting an early glimpse or whatever of the conversation. But yeah, like I feel like Shinny is probably just gonna end up doing like the bad guy thing, getting super corrupted with power. Like he's got all 5 dragon tools right now, so like he'll probably OD on dragon juice and
Become the
go.
Death Messiah.
Yeah, he actually like recreates the Death Messiah by mistake and like abandons, his whole like I need to have the perfect script. Like his mind is gonna get fucking scrambled. He's also a clone. So yeah, he's probably about to be fucking scrambled eggs
Yeah.
and get consumed by this like his dream or whatever. and all the power that he's consumed.
Yeah, and Rixet said he was wrong about Doctor Stone. We truly want our favorites to keep going. Got kind of lucky with JJK just getting a sequel and picking back up on some storylines. Yeah, yeah. There's
Yeah,
just give us more of what we love, and I am absolutely sure nobody will have any complaints.
yeah,
Especially, if Negi continued Ranger Reject at the same quality that it is now, who's going to complain
yeah,
about? Well, to be fair, there is such thing as something going on for too long, but
for sure.
the interesting part about doing something like Ranger Reject is when you switch over to Kamen Rider, Super Sentai, or Power Rangers, you have multiple series with different characters. And so Negi could legitimately come back and do like uh, Ranger Reject Samurai Force or something, and we're focused on older time, and I don't know. You got
It
like
also,
different outfits for the Dragon Cube. It's just
yeah,
yeah,
but like in a case like this, like I can see like it wouldn't be, I wouldn't consider it like dragging on too long if like we continue with things that have already been
yeah,
like
yeah. Of
in the
course.
story. Like don't like don't have Shinya die and then 5 chapters later have actual aliens like come down and be like, now we're gonna fight, and like it goes on for another like that. Then yeah, 100 chapters of that would be dragging. But like if we go and see what Azome is doing and like deal with her and like somebody else, like there's some minor threats, and then maybe like I said, Peltrola, because I just don't see
Wait,
Peltrola being dead, and I don't
wait.
see
Why?
Peltrola bending the knee
Why don't you see him being dead?
because he was like he just got like he was in the fucking dream space, and
Yeah,
then
he got
the good
murked.
Shinya. I don't think he got murked. I mean, I think he just got like blown probably out of that like space or something. But like
What?
Shion wanted to go back in there to fight him. Shion was like, "Let me back in there to fight him." I don't think he's dead. Like, if it feel weird if he was dead, like they would just tell him like, "Yo, he's dead." Like when D came out of there, he was like, "Let me back in. I gotta kill that guy."
I don't know. I just felt like he was dead, but
Maybe.
you could be right, and he could somehow manage to get out of Magatia and reintroduce himself into the story. I don't
Yeah,
know.
he was. I mean, he was like one of the hardest like characters to deal with. He's got like the clones, and it's like you can't just kill him.
Yeah, he's
There's
got
so
the
much with
Boo
him.
syndrome.
Yeah, so it's like I can just see him showing up in the very end. Like they think, they all go like, oh, all's well that ends well. Like we got rid of the problem. Everybody knows that, they establish that invaders aren't all bad guys, and Rangers, like I said earlier, Rangers aren't all good guys. And it's go, okay, we can all live together. And then Peltrola's like, nah, because
Yeah,
I just don't see. He's got that God complex. He's not gonna be on no like, yeah, like I can chill with the humans. He wants fucking. He thinks he's a god.
yeah,
So he's not
that's
gonna. I mean, he
that's
could be
fair.
dead, but I just don't think he's dead. And it's just another way, in my opinion, to like that would extend the story for me.
Yeah, it would, and it. I don't
Especially with
know
more
because
people
it
now
feels.
willing to. Especially with more people now, like who would also be willing to help kill him.
I don't know. Like, so if you're talking about like he gets involved in this arc, maybe I could see that, but like it would be crazy going from like beating Shinya to having to fight Peltrola again. That
I mean,
feels
that could be.
like a drastic drop in scale.
I mean, Peltrola is strong, and like
Yeah,
he
I'm
was he
not.
was already strong, and they were talking about his power, like being able to like eat things and get stronger. So like, who knows what else he's probably eaten in that time.
Yeah, but
And
we're
he,
we're talking about the guy who basically orchestrated everything that's happened in this series.
yeah, but
Uh,
he ain't an actual monster.
he's
Like,
wielding 5 divine weapons right now.
yeah,
I
but
don't
he not
know.
he not. I don't know, man. Either like I feel like it could happen,
it
and we
could.
might get see the full revival. Like we might get see another revival of Death Messiah. Never know. It's
I
up to Negi. I just
I
don't think
do
he's dead.
think I do think we're going to get like the true Death Messiah because back during the IRA arc, wasn't Yumiko? No, not Yumiko. Yakushi. Jesus, my brain just farted. Wasn't he talking about like he wasn't able to obtain like the true form or the true power of the Death Messiah?
It was that it never like actually like that episode never aired or whatever, so
Oh
he was just
yeah,
kind of like head canoning the abilities and gave it
yeah.
form.
And who else would know what the Death Messiah actually was besides Sinai and Shinya?
Yeah.
I I don't know. But Rick said, I have a question. What happened to Suzukiri's mom? Her daughters asked her to leave, and she did. I feel like I was missing something there. As a priestess, she should be powerful in her own right. Um, I when I read it, I just kind of immediately thought that they killed their mom because if you are a head priestess and you have these powers, are you really just gonna walk away? Especially when you treat your youngest daughter by locking her into a cave. I feel like they had to have killed her to get her to leave.
Yeah, probably. I don't. I didn't really think too much on it. I was like, oh, they just like off screen got rid of the mom, like told her to leave, and she's gone. But like that could be a thing. She is possible. I'm not expecting to see Suzukiri's mom though.
Yeah, yeah. I think they killed her. That seems like the most reasonable thing.
Yeah, and they
Uh,
probably wouldn't have told young Suzukiri, young Muko that because she's a kid.
yeah, and they said something that like typically parents say about like someone close to their kids dying. They had to go away and they're not coming back. And she said, or they said, we had her go away and she's never coming back. So this
Yeah,
pretty crazy reveal if true.
yeah, pretty dark.
I mean, yeah, but based off of what we're seeing in this chapter, you locked your child in a cave. I don't think you deserve to continue respiratory functions.
Yeah,
But yeah, yeah, just so much, and to kind of step away from the story for a little bit, the part where it shows Suzukiri having the flashback of seeing all of her sisters, and then it goes down to her seeing all of her sisters attack her, but faceless because whew, that I don't words. I don't know.
it
It
goes in
was
that
cool.
bag, man.
I've never I've read a lot of chapters, but I haven't read a chapter that just hit me with literally everything. I
And somebody in like the previous chapter when Shinio had like he was holding all the weapons and he was like talking about this is the perfect fucking show and all this stuff. Somebody was like the sparkles of bullshit are there. And I was like, oh wow, like there's like a delusional like sparkle like effect thing, like because Sosei had it too, but he was like the rages are eternal, and there was like sparkles in the back. I was like, I wonder how many more like moments are like this in the story, where like characters are like kind of high on their delusions and not like really seeing like what's happening around them or whatever, not fully aware of the consequences of their actions, and just like there's sparkles in the background showing that they're just happy to be in whatever moment they're in.
You know what I just thought about? I am super excited to go back and read when Hisui did the assault on the Yellow Battalion because there was a lot of interactions with between Hisui and Wendy there.
Yeah, so that's the thing is like because he stopped her from like jumping into the fight, so
Yeah,
it's like did he just never tell anyone, like he did things like it's similar to him, like a couple chapters ago with Hibiki. It's like did he just like jump on them and go like, hey man, chill out, like it's me.
I'm
If it,
I'm also curious, like how did he get into the Yellow Battalion?
Well, so I think that whole thing, like the reason he did that is so that he could, because if you go and look at the chapter when he's first like introduced in the battalion, like when Suzukiri goes and she starts like trying to challenge Yellow and she kills like the little beast that's in the cage or whatever, and she's like, look, nobody reacted, so like you guys already knew about this thing. Like when
Yeah.
D shows up in that scene, he's like, oh wow, he sees Shinya, he's like, oh wow, fully suited, you just wear your costume like in the crib too. And he was like, yep, no need to take it off. He was like, even when you sleep, he was like, yep, no point. So I think D like was doing that. He created this persona or whatever so that he can infiltrate the Yellow Battalion and see like what Shinya looks like, and then find out, where he stays and shit like that. And he just kind of like got stuck in there. Like he kept the persona up. And also there's the whole like wanting to free his people. Like he said, they said in order to like break the chains for the fortress, you need some sort of authorization from a member, like a dragon keeper and like a high ranking member of each battalion. So I think this is his way of getting like the yellow authorization. I don't know, still don't know how he's gonna get like the dragon keeper. I guess like the good Shinya, but like Suzukiri or Wendy, I guess, could be the authorization needed for the yellow requirement.
Well, so there's a few things in regards to that. So the first thing is I was more so curious, like how did he take on this form and get into the Yellow Battalion and then end up so close to Shinya? But on the other side, I feel like he was able to do that because Shinya knew who he was. Like,
Mm. I think it's
I don't
just
know.
because like Shinya probably had too much going on, and like when after I want to say after they tried to assassinate what the fuck, playing Zenless just got my ass beat, after they tried to assassinate Green, like they had that like fucking hot pot at like Noah's like family restaurant, and they were like talking about like which battalion was the strongest. And Suzukiri comes and she's like, it's Yellow because Yellow has like 1,000 members. So like I think there's just nobody noticed because Yellow Battalion has so many members. And that might
Well,
honestly, I think that's honestly the first time we see Wendy. Hold on, now I need to look now.
I don't know, cause
When we
like it feels like
72.
Wendy he's been like Shinya's right hand man a lot. Like even in these most recent chapters, let me bring something up.
He's just kind of sucking up to him.
I
And I think
guess.
that goes well for Shinya's personality. Hold on, where is it? Thank you, Noah. All right, yeah, I'm at chapter 72. Suzukiri pulls up. I think I'll join you. 73. Okay. The reason I support Yellow is clear. He has the leadership needed in the largest squadron in the force. Oh, how many members? At a quick guess, maybe about 1,000. And the D's like 1,000. And then later in that chapter is when Wendy first shows up for the first time. So D immediately, like after hearing that number, he was like, "Fuck it, bro! I can just infiltrate that shit. Nobody will ever 1,000 people.
Yeah.
There's no way he will know. This person isn't a member." And then like even um, the weird thing about that though is when he's first introduced, Suzukiri goes like, "Oh hey, over here. He's one of our new guys or whatever." So like Suzukiri introduces Wendy to Chidori and Hisui. Hisui goes like, "I've seen your face before. You weren't picked from the cadets or whatever."
Well, I've seen people, talking like this was a part of Suzukiri and D's plan that they did during the Green Keeper arc. Um,
Yeah, it could
but
very well be something that they planned way back in advance.
I am currently going back to some of those recent chapters because I'm looking for the last time Wendy was involved, and I'm trying to see if there's any additional context there.
They're,
Uh,
they're all they're all on the last page of the new chapter.
uh, oh, are they?
Yeah,
I think next
it's
chapter will clarify it, but my guess is Shinya has the major characters in mind and doesn't bother with background characters.
yeah.
Yeah, that's actually, a really good assumption. He
Yeah, and
seems it's like Makima and how she saw Denji, or how she didn't see Denji but only saw
yeah.
Pochita. So yeah, it I like that. That makes
And
sense.
Shinya, yeah, Shinya has got like main character syndrome. Like he's not paying attention to. He does not give a fuck about these 1,000 people. Yeah, it makes all the sense. Like D heard they had 1,000 members and was like, bro, easy lick, yeah. Like he doesn't know all 1,000 of these people. Like I'm in there, bro.
Let's see. So we got 185 here.
Yeah, like multiple. There's been at least
Oh yeah.
two. There's been at least two cases where somebody was like, Wendy, like, who are you? And he was like, my name's Wendy. I can't tell you my last name. That's a secret. Like he said that like multiple times.
Yeah, but so 185 actually is one of those things where it feels like Shinya let D be close because he's like, thanks for the save after he hits her with the rock. And D says, Sir, Yellow, come on. You're such a liar. I know you can get out of those shackles if you want to. Are you perhaps testing me? And Shinya just smiles. And I mean, Shinya smiling isn't like a big deal because he never stops fucking smiling. But I don't know. That just felt like he knows. I don't know.
I
I
don't
could be
think he
wrong.
knew at all. Like, cause that would ruin this moment.
I mean,
This like
it
Sensou
doesn't
moment.
it doesn't ruin this moment at this moment, if you get what I mean. So like this chapter was hype. Everyone knows it was hype, but let's say 189 comes out and you know uh Shinya had some kind of defense uh against D's attack, it could be explained by the like, haha, I knew you were, you know, D all along or something. I don't know if it would exactly be good, but it
I think
would kind of make sense.
I think the smile is just him like hype because somebody glazing him up. Like, yeah, one of my little niggas just he knows I'm that bad that I'm like up here playing like I'm the yellow keeper. I'm the ringleader. I'm the real. I know everything. Like, and dudes like tooting my horn for me. He's like, boss, I know you can get down from there. It's like, yeah, let me stop playing, man. Let me get down from here.
Yeah, yeah. That could just be me looking too far into it.
I really don't think Shinya knows because like Shinya has known too much. This has to be a moment where like D gets up under him. Like D has outsmarted everyone, and it's so good because like everyone like he already has a disguise that people do. So it's like it makes sense that he would want to make another disguise. Like, yeah, this one is for when I'm around people like Hisui, but I also need a second disguise so that like I can do like my even dirtier dirty work. So this man was in 2 battalions.
Oh my. Oh, chapter 185, when good Shinya sets off the bombs when Wendy was right next to it. I did
Bro.
think, I was like, the next time we see Wendy, I was like, wait, how is Wendy
Yeah.
alive?
Yeah, that was another thing. Like Negi has done a really good job because I think at this point I was still assuming that he was Imamatai. So when the explosion happened, we don't see Wendy anymore, but we see Imamatai like 3 pages later. So I was like, okay, so it was Wendy really was Imamatai, or either that or Wendy was dead. Like I was just like Wendy's cooked, or Wendy is Imamatai, and he's no longer like, you know, he's no longer playing the disguise game.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I just thought of Wendy being Emma Matai as solely a theory. It was a theory I believed in, don't get me wrong. But when I read it, the theory didn't really click in my mind at the moment because I didn't assume it was going to be a part of the story. So I took it at face value and I was like, oh, you know, if Wendy's a normal person, they just got blown up by some trash can bombs. And it makes sense why Wendy was still alive.
Yeah, it also it makes sense that like because when Imamatai does show up, it comes out of nowhere. The
Yeah,
good Shinya was like, "I know you're there, Imamatai, you're listening," and Imamatai just happened to be there because he was like waiting, I guess, for Shinya to like have a a slip up moment. So like Imamatai was there. He like D D good Shinya, bad Shinya, and Imamatai were all within 10 feet of each other, and Wendy not being Imamatai was actually, I feel like that was more crazy than not. Like if we never saw Wendy again and it was just Imamatai, like I wouldn't have been shocked.
God, I need to finish my Ranger well, yeah, finish it because I did start it. I need to finish it because knowing what I'm the thing that's gonna make me so bad is like I'm so excited about this reveal and I want to reread through the series to just
Yeah.
see like everything I've missed up until this point. But I know that if I go ahead and do that in like 5 chapters from now, there's gonna be another big reveal, and then I'm gonna be like, all right, I guess I need to go reread again.
Yeah. It's like there's still so much that like I say so much, but like these things could be small and they could just be tacked on, but like there's still the thing with D's leg because Yakushi said like secret weapon prosthetic leg or whatever that he fucking pulled out of his deep throat, and then there's the fortress that he wants to free his people, and then there's the crystal up there. Like there's that crystal that D was like, if it breaks, then like we'll all die. But like there's got to be something more to that besides like it just being their life force.
Yeah.
So I feel like all the fucking invaders might come together and just merge to make a Death Messiah or something. Like something's gonna happen. We're not just gonna like have Shinya die and then everyone goes home happily ever after, eat popcorn. Like something else has got to
Yeah.
happen.
There's so much more story to tell, and like it just feels like we're in an arc that's close to the end, but deep down, there's so much more. Like easy 250.
Yeah. Like if this chapter, I mean, if this arc goes, 100 chapters, then it's like, sure, I don't mind it being the end because by then you'll wrap up everything. But like, I feel like this is the kind of arc that ends when the quote, air quotes, Shinya, the villain, is beaten. But like, I can see that happening very soon, but there's still things that I want to see. But like, if this arc manages to go for like another 30 chapters, then I can see those things being covered. Like, we don't need to have an epilogue and another like an arc dedicated to Peltrola. If Peltrola just shows up like when they're doing the final, this is also assuming Peltrola's alive. I might be the only person that thinks he is, but you know, um,
Look,
like
Ryujin could still be, a huge threat, and we just don't know yet. So,
I think he's
it,
mad chilling.
okay, yeah,
Uh,
I don't know.
he's like the director dude. He said he's just like trying to watch the show. He wants to see it to the end. But like the question with him is like, is he Johagane? If not, where is the fucking dragon executive?
It was Chidori all along. No, I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh man, just this has been like a crazy run of chapters because it really does like just thinking in the form of making videos. It now feels like you have a very solid beginning, middle, and end for Sosei story. Now,
Yeah.
it can definitely go on. It's just what it feels like to me, like satisfiable. I wouldn't say a great end, but it's at a satisfiable end. And then you could do the same thing for like Shinya. You could do it for Suzukiri. Like I could go back and redo my Suzukiri video, and it's going to be vastly different than
Yeah.
like the previous one I made because of the amount of information we've gotten since then. Um, you could go through at least some of the lore and explain that, which is actually something that I do want to do. I want to make a lore video so everyone understands like what happens before this series starts. That's gonna take that's gonna take some time though. That's it's not
Yeah,
a
I
lot,
definitely.
but it is a lot.
Yeah, fan base. I mean, the people that are like fans don't really need it. Like people might want refreshers, or sometimes you never know like who, not saying that everyone that reads the story is gonna fully understand everything, and like especially when you don't like. I think the average like manga reader is not like going and having conversations with like every series that they read and like
Yeah,
going, so it's like some people are reading the series and like they don't have, friends to talk to or group chats like we do, and they don't like know that our podcast exists. So it's like they read a chapter, they close it, they go make some egos, and they go about their day. So like if they stumble upon a video that's explaining some things or whatever, they can like see that, oh, like yeah, they missed something. Like I always point out like that scene during the like Balong exams where Suzukiri gives um I forget his name, clown makeup dude her the gun, and then like after that arc ends, he's like handing back the cartridge or whatever, and he's like asking her to explain herself and saying like you shouldn't have this. Like he was like, so since you have this, I can assume you're working against us, because the only reason it would make sense for you to have this is if you're working with that foot soldier that stole the gun. It's like those are small details that you don't really think about, and it like goes over your head. And it's also just one that like a lot of other mangaka would just forget to like throw in. Like they would just have him, have the gun and then not explain it, and it just get hand waved or whatever. But no, he went back and explained like how Tokita had the gun, and they had a conversation about it, and just like things like that sometimes don't always get their moment in the story, like for the characters
yeah,
to explain. So it's nice to have like someone who has read the manga, 2, 3 times and has been in fan bases and talked about it with other people and like point out stuff like that. Because you never know what you'll be watching in the video and be like, oh wow, I didn't even fucking see that when I read it. I know, I read the chapter. I call
yeah.
myself reading it. I think I'm an intellectual, and then you find out like you completely missed something in the chapter, like that shadow after Wendy stabs Suzukiri, and you're like, "What's that shadow?" And I was like, "I think it's just them." Somebody else might look at that and be like, "Oh no, that's clearly Ronald McDonald." And then you look at it again, it's like, "Oh fuck, that is him." It's like, so it's good to have like people like us making like videos on it.
Ronald McDonald.
Yeah,
Oh man, yeah. It's just there's so much happening, and we have 2 chapters till chapter 200.
yeah.
Two. Are the raws out? No, I'm not gonna look. I can't look.
No. This was the
Yeah,
newest chapter.
that's so. I look at, or I used to look at the raws for Ranger Reject. Of course, I wouldn't share what I saw. Like, I wouldn't screenshot it or post it or anything like that. I was a solitary enjoyer of raws. But then we started the podcast, and Ranger Reject is covered on it, and now I can't be ahead of the group, and it
Yeah,
sucks.
I can't stand looking at fucking. I did see. I think I saw some spoilers. Like some people do post spoilers, and sometimes I get on Reddit and see it too. But like I don't want to see anything until I can actually read it in English, because I don't want to just open my timeline and like before a chapter comes out, I just like the last
Yeah,
chapter. Last chapter, everyone was safe and sound, and then next chapter, like, oh shit, like I don't want to be flashbanged by Goku like losing an arm. And it's like this was page 17 of an 18-page chapter. Like, let me actually get to read the story from page one. Like, don't
yeah.
like,
My
so that's why like
my thing
uh,
is like I agree with you because if I'm gonna get spoiled, there needs to be permission to get spoiled. Like I don't want to hop on Twitter and then bam, there's a raw there. But if I go and look up the raw, that's on me. That's a decision I made to be spoiled, which is why I would never take that and then post it to ruin someone else's day. But if it's my own personal decision to do it, I don't see the issue. And then I may not be able to read what's on the screen, but if it's a good artist like Negi is, you can get a good gist of the story just by
yeah,
looking at the pictures.
Party Jams says Yato saying it's like he didn't immediately post panels, so people not in our group chat found out the chapter dropped. So I did actually wait a bit. Like when V posted 196 in chat, I didn't actually read it
Immediately.
for. I didn't read it for like 2 hours. I was like doing shit. I was watching a comedy special with my wife, and then I came back and I saw Axel Blaze was like, "Oh baby, that last page," and I was like, let me go read it before I get spoiled. And then I posted. But then 197 came out, and I think I waited a few minutes. And then V sent me 198 before actually uploading it. So like I read 198 maybe like an hour before 198 was actually available to read. And then I was just talking to him in group chat in a DM and was like, yeah, this is nuts. And then when 198 did come out, I was like, I'm just telling y'all niggas now on the group on the timeline. I have a tweet. I was like, I'm just telling y'all now. I'm giving y'all a head start. 198 is out. And then like 20 minutes later, I think I posted one picture from 198, and I didn't want to talk too much because it is the newest chapter.
Yeah.
So I do hold back Party Jams, and like I don't know, just leak culture and stuff is just really annoying to me. I remember,
No, I agree.
yeah, I remember somebody was on the timeline, another popular YouTuber that I won't name, was foolishly trying to defend leaks and was like, if you get spoiled, it's your own fault or whatever. And he was like, you don't get mad at people for talking about like the Spider-Man movie when it comes out. And I'm like, the difference between that, like the difference between there's a grace period. There's a time limit, an amount of time that has to go past or whatever for when you're like considered a dickhead. So like with movies, like when a new movie comes out, you probably should give people like the day or the weekend. When a manga chapter comes out, it's like if you want to be considerate, a fucking decent human being, like if the chapter is legally out, like if it's 10 a.m. Manga Plus just refreshed, the new Chainsaw Man came out. Most people are reading it on Manga Plus. They should know. If they don't realize that Manga Plus updates at 10 a.m., then that's on them. But like because you've been reading Chainsaw Man for 250 chapters, to expect Chainsaw Man Tuesday around 10 a.m. Like that. But you don't expect to see somebody post Chainsaw Man on Saturday at fucking 6 p.m. So like it's a completely different thing from you like talking about the Spider-Man movie that comes out on Saturday on Spider-Man versus you talking about the Spider-Man movie that comes out on Saturday, but you're talking about it on Thursday. Like if you're talking about it on Thursday, I'm gonna cuss you out because what the fuck? I literally can't see the movie. But like people were doing that with like JJK, and it's like the chapter comes out on Sunday and you're talking about it on Wednesday. I literally cannot read it in English unless I read like a version of it that's got fucking butt stains and coffee grinds and shit on. Like you're reading and making like fucking. The people are posting threads and writing these long ass analysis, and people are like calling gay like a fucking incest sympathizer and stuff like that based on like leaks. And then the chapter comes out 5 days later, and then like the shit that they said is incorrect. They're nowhere to be found. And then you got people reading like multiple versions of the story. So it's like some people think that it's, people are judging the story based on shit they read from leaks versus actual like chapters. So it's like, I'm gonna get mad if I can't even read the shit. Like,
Yeah.
Like the Spider-Man comes out on Friday. Talk about it on Friday or Saturday, bro. I don't give a fuck. But like if I didn't go to see the movie on Friday or Saturday and I get spoiled, that's on me. But if I get flashbanged on Thursday and the movie comes out on Friday, that's not on me. How the fuck would I should I know to mute Spider-Man the day before the movie comes out? I don't know that. Like I don't know what's in these JJK chapters. I don't know, like I don't know Gojo's gonna die. So why would I mute Gojo dies like 6 days in advance?
Yeah,
How would I
and
know that?
like even further than that, it's a general sense of them blaming you for getting spoiled because like so in that example you were using, you go to like mute something. You don't know specifics, so the only thing you can do is mute like JJK or Jujutsu Kaisen. But that essentially means that like half the week you can't engage with that community because you can't see what they're tweeting. Now, to be specific about that, that's if, Elon's Twitter wasn't fucking ass and the mute actually worked. But even past that, as soon as you start getting like the early translations before the official chapter drops, or even like the people posting pictures of the pages, how do you avoid that? Because as soon as you put that
Yeah.
online, anyone can grab it. So while you may have, the sensibilities to tag it properly, so maybe the mute will work, that doesn't mean Joe Schmo will have the same sensibilities and won't just drop it without any text alluding to what it is.
Right.
The mute doesn't work.
Right. Like two other JJK examples is like when Yuta showed up at the end of the fight, like in Gojo's body, it's like Yuta had not shown up. Yuta had not been present for like 10 to 15 chapters. So it's like when people were posting that on the timeline, there's no way that I could potentially like I couldn't possibly mute that because how would I know to mute Yuta? How would I haven't seen Yuta in 2 months. Why would I mute that name? Same thing with Modulo, JJK Modulo or whatever. It's like I saw Yuta's kids, and like I didn't even know what the story is. Like I knew that Modulo was a sequel at the same time I found out that Gege was making a new like manga.
Yeah.
At the same time I found out Gege was making a new manga, I knew it was a sequel about Yuta's kids immediately. There was no like, oh man, I can't wait to find out what it's about. Gege's making a new manga. Yuta's kids. Oh shit! Like, what was I supposed
Yeah.
to do? Mute JJK for a year? The manga's been over for a year. What was I supposed to mute? Just keep Maki and Yuta's names muted for a year, and then like even then, people were posting the pictures with emojis, like mind blown emojis. Like I can't even. Should I mute emojis now too? Like, just
Yeah.
be considerate, yeah.
And like
People aren't
to
considerate.
I will say that it does feel like after that initial backlash for it, I haven't really seen people posting leaks for Modulo. So
Yeah.
it feels like they kind of got shamed out of existence, I hope.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. People and a lot more people are kicking back and shit. Like people were like, please, don't fucking like bring Ichi the Witch leaks and
Yeah.
people like, oh, should I leak Kagurabachi? It's like, no, you
No.
should eat a dick.
Stay
So it's
away.
like, yeah, like anybody posting leaks, eat a dick.
I don't know. It just ruins it because like if you're a person who wants to make sure you have the full story, the correct translations, uh, good quality art, so you aren't visibly missing anything, then you want to wait until the official release date. And what this ends up doing is it splits the conversation between two groups of people, which are those who will engage with the leaks and those who won't. And now you're splitting a community in half that halves the discussion between the two separate groups.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
just it screws
If
everything up.
Yeah, if there's a series that's got 500 people reading it and 300 read it on Tuesday and talk about it Tuesday through Friday, and then Sunday the other 200 people read it, the first 300 they're gone. They're not coming back to like see what people think. They've already talked about it for fucking 48 hours and got all their theories and their kicks and laughs out of the way, and then they're done. It's like we could all 500 of us could be talking about it at the same time and enjoying it and having like quality conversations based on, high quality images and shit like that. And like not separate this conversation and have like one half of the community have a half-assed conversation based on some shit that somebody said. Like, not even reading it in English themselves. They're reading like they're looking at the pictures in Japanese. They're like going off of like what some Twitter translator nigga is saying that the pages say. And then other people are reading it based on official translations and getting like a completely different experience. So it's like we're reading two different things at two different times
Yeah. It just
and trying to have a fucking conversation that makes sense.
it ruins the fun of the release days. Like I can't wait for Sundays. I can't wait for
Yeah.
Mondays. I can't wait for Tuesdays. I can't wait for every other Tuesday when I get a new Mad chapter. Wait, no, that's Mondays. Every other Monday when I get a new Mad
Yeah.
chapter. God, read Mad.
Yeah. Mad's dope. But yeah, these Ranger chapters is busting, man. I think 200 gonna go crazy.
Yeah.
200, I feel like 200, like everyone's kind of down. So I feel like 200 gotta be like a big turning point of this like battle. Cause like D's here. Shinya has been on his last leg. He's powered up now, but like there were points where he was on his last leg. But everyone else is kind of like down but not out or whatever. Like actually I don't know about Sosei. I can't remember where Sosei's condition is. I think he got kicked through the Ferris wheel or something.
Yeah.
So he's like in a Starbucks lobby like laying on the fucking coffee machine. But yeah, there's still characters that can fight and D is here. But D is not physically like he's the under he is in a situation where he is easily just wiped off the map. Shinya has all
Yeah.
5 weapons. One weapon scraping him will completely eradicate him. He's not being faced down with all 5, and he's got a dragon gadget in his hand. So like something crazy has to happen.
Yeah. We might see that the Yakushi gift come into play
Yeah,
soon, because I feel like, as cool as this is D relying on a surprise attack,
yeah.
and as long as Shinya dodges it, or at least makes it not like a deadly wound, it can easily turn back around on him. Yeah, I could
Yeah,
definitely see that happening.
and D knows that Shinya has like the ability to like teleport and move at like lightning speed. So like D, the size of this man's nuts right now. He has to have a crazy plan because you pulled up on Shinya. You know what he's capable of, but now like multiply that by 5. Like not only is he lightning fast, but now he can do the bubbles, which ate your lunch last time when you fought
Yeah.
fucking fought Blue or whatever, and he's got the sword. Like he's got everything. He's got the boots, so like even if you stab him, he can just fucking
Heal.
breathe. 5-second rule himself. Like he can just heal. Like what is the plan here?
I don't know. I don't know. Like, what's he gonna do with this little dragon gadget?
Yeah,
Oh, there. Yeah. I don't know. It feels like there's got to be something more to it, like having, uh, well, obviously Suzukiri's in on the plan, but also having like Hibiki in on the plan. Even if it was something recent, like when he was down at the base, he just told them, "Hey, this is what we're doing. Need your help." Um, Maybe Chidori manages to get back up and he helps. I
I
I
really just
don't.
wonder how much of the plan like Suzukiri knows. Like part of me feels like she didn't know back when he was first introduced, but she knew after he went and visited her at the shrine.
Yeah, that is a fair thought.
Like he went to her, broke her out of that like fucking, whatever state she was in where she was like moping around and like I'm just gonna take care of my clones. And then he smashed the thing and was like, you gotta wake up, fight back. And then he was like, I got a plan, bada boom. And then she was like, all right, I fuck with that.
Yeah. Rick's had said, "Mad is peak. Mad is peak."
Yes, sir.
And those three were the original trio, so it makes sense for them to come together here. It does, but that also leaves out, his newfound family, Hisui and Chidori. I mean, we know Hisui's okay ish. We know Chidori is out for the count currently, but I don't know. It'd be cool if they all came together. Chidori, Hisui. No, I don't know, because I feel like that kind of downplay what Chidori has been trying to do this entire arc. So maybe not. I don't know. I'm not a writer. I just criticize. Well, not criticize. Pray. Yeah, I guess I do criticize and praise writing. Uh, I don't know, but it
Yeah.
is 2:14 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I just I had to talk about it. And who else am I gonna invite but Yato?
Tight shit. Bit Yotto and his bitch.
Glad you were able to join
Oh
at
yeah.
1 o'clock in the morning.
Late nighter for real. Yeah, I
Yeah,
was playing some Zenless. I was like, I'm about to start writing this Shinya. I mean, not Shinya. I do need to make a Shinya video. I said I was going to do that a long time ago. But I think I'm probably wake up and start working on a short, windy video. I don't know how long it's going to be. I think I'm going to just go over all the. Because like we were saying earlier, is like some people going to read this and not, they're not going to look at the last page or like they'll see the last page and they're not gonna go back and like look at page 70. They're not gonna go to chapter 72 and 84 and 130. Like putting it in a video, like so many comments on my like Ranger videos, and I'm pretty sure you got it too on your Ranger videos, where people were like, "Oh wow, yeah, thanks. Like I'm glad like somebody kind of put this in a place where I can just go
Yeah.
and watch and get the like understanding or whatever, because like I was lost or whatever."
Make a video every moment D was funny as Windy.
Yeah,
Just see every time he did something like in character for D. That, I don't know, that's one of those parts that excites me about going back to reading it.
yeah.
But Rick said, "It's been fun, guys. I have no New Ways Exorcist in the morning, so this was nice to have before I wake up sad." Yeah, yeah, that's fair.
Oh,
I
is
still
New
need
Way
to
on
start
break?
New Ways Exorcist.
Yeah, I plan on probably reading it on stream. I gotta figure out what the next thing is that I'm gonna read on stream, but I know I want to do Chojin soon, but I think I gotta do a reread first.
A few of those monthly series that y'all were talking about, I thought about. I am significantly behind on One Piece, so I could do One Piece.
Yeah, I
Uh,
think I plan on doing One Piece. I'm at least 100 chapters.
I don't know how far I am. The last chapter I read, I think, was when they first landed on Elbaf.
I haven't even. I'm in the middle of Egghead.
Ah, okay. So yeah, you're a little further behind than me.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna just start Egghead over.
I've been slowly watching it from the beginning. It's been good seeing the quality improve. But besides the point, yeah, it's 2 o'clock in the morning. Um,
Yeah.
I hope you all have a good night. Thank you, Yato, for joining me.
Yes, sir.
And this is a. I'll have some videos for you. Videos for you soon. Jesus Christ.
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah. Peace.